Shop, we have the Chevrolet C8 Corvette Z06. Now, I will have other variants in other body styles and color options throughout the video. This particular variant is an orange convertible with the Z07 package, as well as other carbon fiber bits, which we will talk about later in the video. Let's talk about the C8 Corvette Z06 from an exterior standpoint, and then move on into the technical side where we will lift it up, service it, and discuss all of those tidbits. Now, when it comes to the exterior of the C8 Corvette Z06, the C8 Z06 is much wider than the C8 Stingray to support a wider track, as well as more heat exchangers at the front bumper here. You have larger openings for larger heat exchangers. You even have an additional center heat exchanger at the front there. You can see how the wider track at the rear enables larger heat exchangers on the sides here for more cooling. You have provisions for front-facing cameras for parking situations, which can be viewed from the infotainment. This particular model is optioned with the Z07 package. You have these exposed carbon fiber canards at the front here. You have carbon fiber wheels optioned, as well as carbon ceramic brakes. Moving on with the Z07 package, you have this large carbon fiber spoiler at the back here. All of these aero bits can generate north of 700 pounds of downforce at 186 miles per hour. Here we have the hood open here. We are in the coupe variant, which shows a lot more of the engine bay versus the convertible variant, which has most of this obstructed. Now, you can see a lot more SMC materials integrated into the body structure around here, as you can see. At the heart of the powertrain, you have the 5.5 liter 90-degree V8 known as the LT6. Now, the LT6 is a major departure from the LT4 found in the previous generation Z06, being that this is a naturally aspirated V8 versus the previous generation being supercharged. This is the most powerful naturally aspirated V8, making 670 horsepower at 8,400 RPM and 460 pound-feet of torque at 6,300 RPM. For your basic dimensions, bore and stroke is at 104.25 millimeters and 80 millimeters respectively, with a compression ratio of 12.5 to 1. Inside that, the cylinder block is made out of aluminum with a closed deck design and pressed in iron cylinder liners. Underneath that is a lower crankcase, also made out of aluminum, which creates 4 sealed crank bays when the block and the lower crankcase are mated together. Now, inside the block, you have a forged steel crankshaft, which has a flat plane design. With the flat plane design, the rod journals are opposed to each other at 180 degrees. This brings many benefits, including a lower weight and inertia, and better induction and exhaust designs. None of the cylinders at each bank are going to fight for each other for air, which creates a high revving environment, along with that short stroke of 80 millimeters. Attached to the crankshaft are forged titanium connecting rods with full floating piston pin bushings and forged aluminum pistons with polymer coated skirts. Now, the LT6 incorporates a 7-stage dry sump lubrication system, which integrates an oil cooler, which is attached to the lower crankcase. You have a pressure stage supplying pressurized oil to the engine, and you have 6 scavenge stages, 4 being dedicated to the forged steel crank base, 1 for the front cover, and 1 for the cylinder heads. Now, the lubrication system can support a vacuum inside the crankcase of 70 to 80 kPa, which supports very low friction losses, which aids the high revving environment. The cylinder heads are cast aluminum with dual overhead camshaft designs with titanium intake valves and sodium-filled exhaust valves. The valve train is actuated by finger followers, which each finger follower is integrated with an oil jet for lubrication. Now, moving to a dual overhead camshaft design was a major departure from the overhead valve design from previous small block V8s from GM. Both intake and exhaust camshafts integrate variable camshaft timing. The Intake side has 55 degrees of authority, with the exhaust side having 27 degrees of authority. The camshafts in these cylinder heads are driven by the intermediate camshaft installed a cylinder block by 2 timing chains. The intermediate camshaft is driven by the crankshaft via a timing chain as well. All timing chains have hydraulic tensioners. The intermediate camshaft also drives 2 high-pressure fuel pumps inside the valley of the V8, which supply fuel to the direct fuel injection system. The Bosch direct fuel injection system consists of 2 separate fuel rails, each having 4 direct injectors. These are mounted underneath the exhaust manifolds, which require provisions for cooling surrounding the areas, and the exhaust manifolds have a unique design that sweep away from the cylinder heads to prevent heat soak. Now, for the intake manifold design, you have 2 separate symmetrical plenums here, each having 78mm throttle bodies at the rear. Mating the 2 halves is 3 72mm tuning valves, which constantly change in state to improve responsiveness at low RPMs and improving high power at high RPMs. Of course, with a mid-engine design, you have a pretty unique engine bay layout here. Let's go over the basics. You have these strut towers up top here with your little wire harnesses for the MagneRide adaptive dampers. You have lots of structural bracing throughout the engine bay here to support the structural integrity. Up top, you can see your massive intake manifold assembly there with the 2 throttle bodies and the 3 tuning valves mating the 2 halves. Removing that, you can gain access to the valley of the V8, which houses the starter motor and the 2 high-pressure fuel pumps. Down here, you can see you can access the cylinder heads on each side, albeit accessing other components underneath the cylinder heads does require a few removal of parts. Over here, you have access to your coolant expansion tank with this coolant reservoir cap, and you have access to your oil cap and an oil dipstick for your dry sump lubrication system. Now, for your front tire and wheel package with the Z07 package, you have these Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires. Tire size at the front is a 275/30 ZR20. Obviously, this has been optioned with carbon fiber wheels. And behind that, you have 6-piston fixed brake calipers over some large carbon ceramic rotors. And at the rear here, you have much wider wheels supporting wider tires, same tire compound setup. Tire size at the rear is a 345/25 ZR21. Very massively staggered. And behind there you have 4-piston fixed brake calipers over carbon ceramic rotors. You have a separate caliper over here for your park and brake mechanism. Of course, the carbon ceramic brake package and carbon fiber wheels were optional. The Z06 comes with a robust steel brake package and forged alloy wheels as standard. The important thing to note is that the Bosch electromechanical brake system, the BWI MagneRide dampers, and the electric power steering system are all calibrated according to the wheel and tire options as well as the brake package. As for suspension, at the front and rear, you have all aluminum double wishbone style suspension systems, familiar with the C8 Stingray. However, the control arm bushings are unique to the Z06. They are stiffer than the C8 Stingray to manage the high loads, and the tires, which are much stickier. Now, of course, as standard, you have 4th generation MagneRide dampers, which are magnetorheological dampers. The fluid inside can be changed in viscosity with electromagnetic systems. As you can see here, at curb height, you have a very flat floor here, which aids with aerodynamic stability. As you can see here, you have these plastic shields mounted to the lower control arms to smooth out airflow. Moving on in there, as you can see, the dust shields have been optimized to maximize cooling to those brake rotors. There's another look at your 6-piston fixed brake caliper at the front. And of course, there are your coil spring damper assemblies with an integrated front lift system, which is optional. Moving on to the rear of the C8 Z06, GM has worked very hard on this exhaust system, which is very intricate. You have these quad tips, which are positioned specifically for acoustics. Of course, you have actuators on the exhaust itself to modulate the exhaust flow to change the exhaust characteristics. Honestly, the stock exhaust system already sounds amazing, and I would not change it personally. Now, as for the drivetrain, you have an 8-speed automated dual clutch transmission manufactured by Tremec, known as the TR9080. It has a stronger 6-plate clutch with a deeper final drive ratio and a revised lubrication system. Inside the case, with that deeper final drive ratio, has a electromechanical differential unit, which is programmed with the PTM driving modes. For the cooling strategy, you have larger heat exchangers at the front here. You have 3 of them in parallel for the main high temperature cooling circuit for the engine cooling, and you have 2 separate heat exchangers on the side. One is for your engine oil cooling and the other for your transmission oil cooling. Concluding the technical discussion, GM's hard work on the C8 platform is displayed well in the Z06. All of the electromechanical systems are calibrated cohesively to provide an exceptional driving experience. The LT6 engine, the Tremec DCT, the electronic limited slip differential, the BWI magnetite dampers, and the Bosch electronic brake system all work together effectively. Due to the new platform, servicing the C8 Z06 is drastically different from the previous generation, especially if you have the convertible model. Nonetheless, routine maintenance for brakes consists of brake fluid services and brake pad and rotor replacement when needed. The Tremec DCT has service intervals for the transmission fluid and fluid filter, and typical maintenance for the LT6 includes oil changes, air filter replacements, and spark plugs. Let's plug this back in. We're using an OEM filter from AC Delco. Should go in very easily. We're using Mobile One's Supercar 5W50 formula with the Dexos R certification. Oil level is measured at a minimum 175 degrees Fahrenheit for the oil temp. As per usual, the interior of the C8 Corvette generation is highly customizable with various materials and options here. Starting off with the steering wheel, you have this nice carbon fiber top and bottom sections here. It is Alcantara wrapped on the 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock positions. Feels nice in the hand. You have carbon fiber paddle shifters as well. Nice digital display for your gauge cluster. Across the doors, you have this nice soft touch leather up here. You have a Bose Performance audio system, 2 position memory seats, all the physical switchgear for your mirrors and your windows. Works pretty well. You have controls for your convertible's top as well. Lots of stuff here. Not much storage in the door pocket. Can maybe fit a wallet, some napkins in there. Across the dash, you have more of that soft touch leather. Down this kind of spine area, down the center stack here, you have all your physical HVAC controls. Work pretty well. They're all very clicky. You have your drive mode selector down here. You have a front lift on this one and a front-facing camera, as well as a toggle for your traction control and various stability control systems. And you have your typical gear selector right here. Cup holders, center console storage. Not too much, can maybe fit a phone in there. You have a USB-C and USB-A port, as well as an audio jack, SD card slot. You can fit your phone here too, which is pretty interesting. Nice carbon fiber sports seats. They have Alcantara inserts in here. They are heated and cooled and they're perforated. Pretty nice. In terms of the overall interior experience, it's always nice here, albeit this passenger does not have anything to hold on, as you can see. Just listen to that glorious V8 come to life. You have nice Arkansas wrapping up here, all over the roof. Nice visors. In terms of visibility, can't see much here. Kind of like a regular supercar, but you do have a rear view window, so that at least works. One more thing, in terms of the infotainment, this is more of the previous generation Android Automotive design system. Has wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, of course. Works pretty well. Pretty basic functions here. You got a lot of features in there that you can use. No complaints about that. Works pretty fast. Of course, GM provides lots of interior options. Leather-wrapped steering wheel? Sure. Want to add some carbon fiber? Sure. Leather door cards? Of course. How about Alcantara instead? Absolutely. This is probably why Corvette owners think they have one-of-one specs. And the build quality and ergonomics have aged well so far. So how has the C8 Corvette Z06 aged since its launch? I would say very well. The LT6 brings a thunderous experience, while a highly capable chassis and suspension system maintain control. And even with the launch of the new ZR1, the Z06 already brings so much performance and experience to the table. That's it for me.